Hey guys, what's up? It's Ryan and Eric from Tower Reviews, and today we're going to be doing a comparison and speed test of 5 iPods. We've got the first gen all the way to the left, second gen, third gen, fourth gen, and fifth gen. So we're going to start out by looking at the hardware differences. We're going to throw all the specs up on the screen. So if we just look at the actual design differences, you'll see that the first gen has sort of a square design. It did have the aluminum back, which I changed by sanding it down. You can see right there it's the 16 gigabyte model with the Wi-Fi antenna, no volume rockers or speakers. Very simple design with the 30-pin dock connector. And then we've got the second gen here, which was a pretty radical change. It's the 8 gigabyte model, as you can see there. Chrome back, Wi-Fi antenna, volume rockers. First generation to have the speakers, and it's a lot thinner.
Okay, so here we have the third generation. Most notable upgrade was the processor, and just to show you that we do in fact have the third generation iPod here, you might be able to make that out, is the 32 gigabyte model. Pretty much the same design overall as the second generation, except we have some upgraded internal specs to run the newer software. Moving on to the fourth generation, drastic upgrades. You had the same aluminum backing but added the FaceTime camera as well as the front facing camera. You have the Retina display on this one as well, and this one's a 32 gigabyte.
Alright, so the most recent model here is the fifth generation, which again is a radical redesign from the fourth generation. You have the 5 megapixel iSight camera on the back with LED flash and microphone. It comes in 5 different colors. You have the loop, Wi-Fi antenna returned, or at least is visible, and volume rockers, lightning connector, and 1.2 megapixel HD front-facing camera for FaceTime and things of that nature. You also have the 4-inch display, which is the same resolution as, or the same pixel density as the fourth generation, but it has 44% higher color saturation, and overall just looks a lot better. So that's about it for the external hardware that's visible. We're going to go ahead and see how the hardware acts with the software in a few tests. The latest software you can update to on the first generation is evident right there, 3.1.3.
So obsolete.
4.2.1.
So obsolete.
Which is kind of hard to see. And then 5.1.1 on the third gen.
Also obsolete.
And then these two get the most recent, which is 6.0.1. So that's going to give us some trouble here because we can't get some of the apps that we would like to compare on the three most recent, being Geekbench, and we like to use Plants vs. Zombies, but we couldn't get that on this one because it didn't have it, but we do have it on the first gen. We're going to start out by clearing out the multitasking on the ones that actually have that ability. Okay.
Alright, so too close to call, except the third gen is really lagging behind, but again, doesn't really matter too much. What we're going to do now is we're going to power them up and show you what difference the internal specs make. 1, 2, 3, go.
Okay, so pretty close actually. It's harder than it looks. Here's a good indicator of the screen quality. The third gen is looking extremely blue for some reason. The blacks are definitely truest on the fifth gen.
So hopefully we see a succession of boot times, but that would be ideal. But
sometimes it's surprising because some softwares are more efficient than others. But the fifth gen, at least we have that one coming in first.
Which should be.
All of them have about the same amount, but again, we've seen in the past that the fourth gen is struggling to handle iOS 6.
So if you missed that, we had the second gen coming in a little bit before the third gen, and then the fourth gen coming behind. So as we mentioned, the fourth gen does have the A4 chip, which is a very powerful chip, but it does not handle iOS 6
and it's also
in the
pushing
best way.
A lot more pixels than the other ones. So, alright, that was the boot up. Now we're going to do some web browsing tests, so we're going to clear out the data. Okay, so now we're going to do the Safari test. Okay. So, I don't know why this one's asking me about the YouTube app. It's kind of weird, but yeah, I don't really know what just happened. There's a lot to take in. So, now we're gonna load up the video. All right, so it's loading up the video. We're gonna hear a lot of stuff, probably.
Whoa. Sweet.
Okay, so yeah, we got.
Glitching out.
We're all on the same Wi-Fi network, so there were some problems. All right, and we've got the 16:9 aspect ratio on the 5th gen, which none of the other ones have. So that's one thing to note.
By 16:9, he means no black bars when viewing in landscape.
Yeah, you'll see right here that there will be. See at the top and bottom. All right. Okay, so now let's go home. Okay, and now we're gonna load up the App Store, and we're gonna search around a little bit.
Okay, so we're gonna load up the App Store. Obviously, we're loading up app stores from different iOS versions, so they're gonna look a little different. But you know, we're gonna do our best.
1, 2, 3, go.
Okay, so a great opening procedure there. Okay, so we see a pretty good succession of loading times here relative to the generation of the iPod Touch.
Alright, so these three are running the older version of the App Store. Let's just go ahead and try and do a search for an app, because I was playing around with them earlier and I was noticing that it was considerably slower.
1, 2, 3, go.
Okay, so now if we click on it, we'll see that.
Alright, so it looks like the older generations loaded pretty quickly.
It's just overall not a very smooth experience scrolling around the App Store on the older generations, I noticed. Just something I wanted to point out. Okay, so we weren't actually able to get the Geekbench application on these two, so we're gonna run the Geekbench on the last three, so you get an idea of what their numbers in performance.
And then you can kind of project what they would be as you go down the line. Now. Okay, so basically what this app does, it goes through and tests everything in the hardware of the device, and it tells you what speed.
Just basically assigns a number to the overall performance.
Exactly, so I don't really know what it does to figure out the number, but it's a good way of comparing different specifications of devices. It's very simple and idiot-proof.
Okay, so the 5th gen pulled in a score of 624. Fourth gen got 393.
And the third gen is not that great. Just kidding. Third gen holds its own for how old it is. But let's see what it does here.
Alright, so I got a 291.
So as you can see, we have about a 100 point, I mean, I don't know what the unit is, but 100 difference between the third and the fourth generation, but then we got a much larger jump when you step up to the 5th generation. You got the dual core processor in the A5, which obviously makes a great difference.
Oh, I guess we'll just do the Plants vs. Zombies test to finish it out. We don't actually have it on the 2nd gen, but you can see in between the 3rd and 1st. Unfortunately, it's the operating system is incompatible with the app.
And the 1st generation was previously downloaded, so
Yeah,
that's
before.
how we have it.
Alright, so let's go ahead and open it.
Oh god.
It's right there.
There it is. Okay. 1, 2, 3, go.
So you can see it's a different version on the first gen. So we're rolling out the grass. Oh, come on, fourth. The third gen kicked butt.
Well, I mean, obviously the 5th gen won, but Ryan's kind of saying that.
Yeah, compared to the fourth gen.
Yeah. As you can see, the 4th gen is just overall not living up to.
And this is going to carry out through gaming performance. You're going to see a lot of dropped frames in the older versions, so it definitely isn't recommended to go with anything other than really the 4th or the 5th, but definitely I would choose the 5th out of any of them. So the first gen's still going.
Yeah, so
everyone else is done.
If you can take any lesson from this video, it's that you should really not buy the 3rd, 2nd, or 1st generation.
Done.
They're not worth anything. I'm serious.
Okay, so that about sums up this video. Comment below what you think. Like it if you liked it, and subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching.